Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm going to take a little bit of your time today, not much. I know that time, I've really learned, is the most precious thing we have. And so I'm here today to have a conversation with you. I am at my kids' school in the parking lot, just was able to pick up my daughter to have lunch with her. And it really got me thinking of, gosh, what I'm going to talk about today, what it's done for me personally in the last decade. I've been with this company for 10 years, had no idea what I had my hands on when I first started, but had hopes and had dreams to change the situation that I was in. So today I'm going to share a little bit about myself. I'm going to share a little bit about these products that if you're new, you're probably like, what am I doing here? I have to talk about the products because they have not only changed my family's life, but a lot of my friends, a lot of my family, and their friends and their friends and their friends. And that's the beautiful thing about this business, is it's not who you know, it's who they know and who they know. And so I'm also going to touch on the business. It's not for everybody, but it is for people that are in desperation mode, like I was. It's for people that want to have a side hustle to make, $300 in a month, $500 extra a month. It's for people that like to help people. I've learned that this is a giving of yourself, selfless business, and that's probably been my favorite part about it. So a little bit about myself: Daize Shayne Goodwin on the south side, but from the north side of Kauai. You know, my husband and I had a great run. We just had our 18-year anniversary, and I just feel so accomplished for that because it has been such a journey. And where we found ourselves 10 years ago was no joke. We had been pro athletes for, the first bit of our marriage and most of our lives, and we loved it. We were able to travel the world and get paid to be free, basically, as athletes, and work hard, but free. And we loved it, and we bought a house here, and we thought we had it all figured out until the economy crashed in 2008, got the rug pulled out from under us with our first child just being born. And we learned really quickly what it was like to really try to make it, right? To make it, to pay your bills, work, 40 hours a week, come home, not have enough, not have the energy to be present with your child, even if you don't have one. To be present is hard when you're in survival mode. And for us, it got worse and worse. It's really expensive to live here in Hawaii. And no matter what we did, we could never get ahead. So I was waitressing, I was cleaning houses, I was doing all I could to make ends meet, and it wasn't working. The mountain of credit card debt got bigger and bigger, and we just found ourselves going, what do we do? We were on the verge of divorce. Weren't even living in the house that we bought, that we had a mortgage on. We were renting it to afford it. We shared a car. We hated our lives. And the worst part for me is I couldn't be present. I couldn't be present with my kids. I couldn't be present with myself. And that's when my health started to take a toll. I dealt with anxiety on the regular, anxiety attacks when I'd go to the mailbox, insomnia. It then led to depression. And I basically found myself in a state of desperation, far from where I had been 2 years before, where I was winning world titles and, doing these amazing things. And that's why I'm really here to talk about the business too, because you just never know when you would wish that you would have dug the well before it was dry. And that's where we found ourselves. Dry as a bone. Now, what do we do next? I want to divorce you. I can't, get a cup of coffee without stressing out that I can't pay for it. Real life stuff. And when this was brought to me, it was just like this, a conversation. We weren't in a car like I am, but it was a conversation with someone that I respected enough to listen to. So you're here today for the first time, or you're watching the replay. Someone invited you because they care enough about you. Now, you may not have the story like me, right? Where I was in desperation mode, and I was, not only at the end of my wits financially, but also my health. I couldn't see myself going for much longer. Everyone has got some story. It may not be mine, but I guarantee you that maybe yourself or 5 to 10 people that would love to have more energy, that would love to have their skin look like it did 10 years ago. People that would love to find a natural way, a natural approach to really fix whatever health problem they're dealing with. And I'm here to tell you that this is one of those opportunities. I was very skeptical in the beginning, so skeptical that I wouldn't even look. So skeptical that I told my friend that he's drank the Kool-Aid. I can't believe that he's joined a network marketing company. He's going to lose all his money. I'm actually offended. You know, I told him, I'm offended that you brought this to me. But he persisted, and he shared his story of his health testimony, one that was so unbelievable. But because I know natural medicine and I know what it can do, and because I was open enough to listen, I was blown away by what happened after he shared the products with me. My health immediately switched. A product that's herbs that I had taken for years: ashwagandha, bacopa, milk thistle, green tea, and turmeric. I'd taken them separately for years, never had any like crazy profound health, health testimonies. But when I started to learn the science and started to see that, wait a second, this product is backed by over 24 peer-reviewed research studies. Wait, Harvard and American Heart Association are backing this. ABC Primetime went to do expose to debunk this world-renowned scientist, and he only found positive. For me, with my story, it was a snowball effect. I fell in love with the products. I fell in love with the idea that not only was I feeling better, but I could help my neighbor who also is dealing with depression feel better. I could help my father who deals with, a whole different, arthritic condition. And I could go on and on and on about how everyone's got something. But I said, wait a second, if I can help people, and I actually get paid, because he said, just so you know, you get 40% back of whatever sales you do. Now, I've never thought of myself as a salesperson. I'm not. I'm not good at it, but I'm good at sharing my heart, and I'm good at sharing my truth. And when I saw how quickly I was sleeping better, I was feeling better. It was like the cloud had lifted. After a few months, all my aches and pains went away. I had a pre-arthritic condition because of pushing myself so hard as an athlete. So today I'm here not to convince you. I'm not here to push you in a corner and say, join our team and we're so great, even though we are. I'm here to tell you to just be open enough to look. Because that's what I did. And that's what, hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands of people have done on our team now that have all had their own health testimony. Also, I got to talk about the collagen that we just released as a company that is a whole nother business in itself, because collagen is the biggest thing on the market right now, but we have the only one that can activate all 10 types in our body. The before and after pictures are dramatic. So I would get with the person that invited you so you can take a look. Take a look at this, because here's also part of my story. Is because I was feeling so good, I started to dig deeper into this business model of network marketing, the thing that I laughed at for years. I started to learn that if you can get behind a product and a company with no competition, right? A company that has products that no one can compete with. If you can get behind a company with the timing where nobody knows about it, and they have integrity, and they source their products clean with clean integrity, and you have a heart for others, you can make a lot of money. So I started to dig, and I started to get these checks because my dad wanted in on it. My dad's like, I got to get on this product. There's a handful of these products that are, they're revolutionary, every single one of them. And I started to get little checks, and I started to fill up my gas tank. And I started to go, wait a second, my neighbor's feeling better and I'm getting a little check. So I went to him and I said, hey, do you need a little check? And all of a sudden, Miss, I'm not a salesperson. I have no time. I have no experience. All of a sudden, I learned the system that was already in place. And this is not just my story. The business side is a lot of people's stories. Some of them are on the call right now. Some of them are not. They're living their lives with a new freedom, because that's what this offers you, where you literally can learn a system build it part-time. I built this when my daughter napped. 1 hour a day. I said, I'm going to be consistent with 1 hour a day. Was it easy? No. It was not easy to hear people, how I was to my friend of like, no, 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 you're crazy. I'm not doing this. But because I learned and I listened instead of pushed, and I educated instead of, forced, more and more people started to join this movement that we created. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And I'll give you a couple reasons why this comp plan wins in the industry for having one of the most generous in the world. Is because you start to, when you get to the elite ranks, you start to global profit share and everything sold on the planet. Now, I don't know if you understand that, but it's like if you had a song on the radio or you wrote a book, every time someone buys it, every time someone listens to it, you get a little bit. And that is what really started to get my wheels turning of the residual income possibilities. Where if I just spend the next 2 to 5 years working part-time, following the system in place, linking arms with people that not necessarily were like me, but that had a dream of not just paying bills and then dying, right? People that had dreams to live a bigger life. We started linking arms. And now it's been 10 years, right? So now, I have our team is giant. It's over 19,000 people. We have, we have amazing team events. It's the culture of what we have is so beautiful. And people sometimes join just for that. People sometimes join just to meet people that are like-minded, positive, they want the best for them, that are going to lift them up and support them in their life. And so, yeah, when I look back at this and I look back at that and I ask you, like, is this something that is for you? You just need to ask yourself, what are you doing now? Or how are you feeling now? Do you want to feel that way in the next 2 years? Is your body hurting so much or your mind hurting so much that you're saying, gosh, I would just love to not feel this way. I would just love to change that aspect of my life. And it may just be that you want more energy, right? It may just be that you want that deeper sleep, that you want to lose some weight, that you want to feel better. Take a look at what we have. It's too big to pass over. And as far as the business, are you where you want to be in the next 2 to 5 years? Have you arrived? It took me about 2 years to get to the elite ranks. Sorry, 18 months to get to the elite ranks. 2 years to get to the next big rank. And every time you jump rank, it doubles. Your income doubles and it's residual, meaning you do the work once again and you get paid over and over and over again. I really want you to grab that concept, because if you don't have something like that right now, this is worth looking at. This is worth jumping on the phone and saying, send me the video of the comp plan. I got to take a look at this. Doesn't mean you have to quit your job. Doesn't mean you have to turn your whole life around to do this. It means that you build another side supplemental income. That's all this is. And what was my plan D quickly went to plan B, to plan A, where now my family and I are living this crazy dream life of, it's just financial freedom. It's when you don't have to worry about your bills coming in the mail. Everything's prepaid. Our kids are all in really, really good schools. We just took a 2-month vacation to Bali because we could. And that's my dream. So again, dig in yourself. What is your dream? Are you living it? And my dream was small when I started. I wanted to stop with the anxiety attacks. I wanted to actually sleep. I just wanted to think positive gratitude thoughts and be grateful for my life. That was my dream. And then it grew once that had changed. And then it grew a little more to, wow, I'm going to buy my kids smoothies after school. I'm going to fill up my gas tank all the way. I'm going to pay that credit card bill, not the whole thing, a little bit. And then it grew a little more, because when you start to get more of an income and more of a team and more of a confidence in yourself again, it starts to grow a little bit and you're surrounded by these people that are just lifting you up. And then it grew a little more and it grew a little more. And then it's like, oh my gosh, we're in our house and our mortgage is paid. Oh my gosh, I'm buying a car. I'm buying a nice car for the first time. And it grows a little more. And all of a sudden, you're giving more than you ever thought that you were going to make back then. And I mean, that's the stuff that gives me goosebumps. That's what this is about for me. My dream now is, we just gave this homeless guy who I love him. He's living in his car, and he's right down from our house, and it's sad, but that's his life, and he's okay with it. He lives right on the beach, and the car is now not working. It's got a towel over the window because the window's cracked. And we had bought a van about 3 or 4, maybe 3 years ago, a little minivan. And I said, let's just give it to him. Let's just give him the van, babe. And my husband of mine was like, yeah, I would love to do that. And to see this guy's face when we're like, Ben, we're going to give you the van. I could have never done that years ago. So I'm telling you that story. I don't usually tell people what I do in my giving, but I'm telling you that story because maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to buy the guy, behind you groceries. Maybe you want to pay your mom's bills. Maybe you just want to pay your own. This is one of those opportunities. It takes time, it takes a little time. But I had to look at myself and go, wait a second, what am I doing that's going to change my situation? I had no opportunities in front of me that wanted to offer me what I needed. And even the products that were out there, nothing was helping me. I didn't want to get on medication. I wanted to do this naturally. And I could tell you thousands of stories that I've heard in the last 10 years of how these products have changed people's lives. And, we can't say the FDA, it's natural. So, the FDA is, you can't say we're going to cure your disease, mitigate it, or even treat it. But you could try it and you could see what would happen. So get with the person that invited you. I'm just grateful that you guys gave me some time. I'm grateful that we could have a little, no stress conversation in my kids' parking lot at school. And that's the other beautiful thing about this that I love. I can build it from anywhere. Where can you find a job that you can build from anywhere and face your fears? Because you're going to have to face your fears. This is a new thing. And where you can just feel better and help other people feel better. It's magic. It's literally magic. So we'll talk again, I'm sure. If you have questions, I had a million. We can get on the phone and answer them. But this is big. Just look. That's all I'm saying. It may not be for you, but you should definitely look, because it has changed a lot of people's lives. So thank you again for giving me your time, and much love, everybody. Take care.